Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at that upcoming major winter storm that is already underway. In just a moment, we're actually going to take a look at the current conditions on the ground. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Now, I'd also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below, and then our very awesome channel membership that you can click that join button and check out today. It's next to that subscribe button. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, what do you think is the maximum amount of snowfall anyone sees from this snowstorm? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now let's get right into that current radar situation, and as you can see, we have all of that snowfall coming down for portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then that eventually moves up into Missouri as we head later into the radar run here. And as you can see, this actually extends basically from about 10 p.m. last night until about 6:50 a.m. this morning. So we have a long time on this radar. And as you can see, we had a lot of snowfall move through a pretty good chunk of Texas, but especially there in Oklahoma, actually, we had a large area of that snowfall. So let's just go ahead and check out these two areas individually. Alright, now here we are taking a look at the Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas region of this. You can see there was some mixing going on with that freezing rain and sleet. The orange indicates that sleet, and the pink is more of the freezing rain. But generally just a sloppy mess down there for a lot of regions. This has slowly turned more into a snow event actually over time. You can see earlier on, there was a lot more of those oranges and pinks going on, and now there is actually a lot less going on of that. We had plenty of that snowfall going on for Dallas, Austin. Now that's actually extending well up into northern Louisiana, portions of Arkansas and Mississippi as well. So let's go ahead and transition over to that more northern area of this snowstorm. Alright, and as you can see, we did have that snowfall going on for Oklahoma City, and now we're seeing that make its way into Springfield as of maybe 1 or 2 a.m., then eventually Kansas City, and even St. Louis is starting to get some of those snow showers moving in. So we are seeing this one make its way well up into portions of central Missouri there, and even Illinois at this point, Tennessee, Kentucky, even Memphis down there in Nashville, you can see are getting some snowfall as well. So this one is making its way further north. The very bright white areas is where we're having a lot more of that steady snowfall. In those grays, that's where it's a lot more light at this point. But at this point, we don't have any real heavy snowfall going on. It's mostly a moderate snowfall event at this point. Now, what we're going to do is we're finally going to make our way over to the models, and we're going to take a look at what they have to say as far as the future of this storm as it moves up into the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast, where we're expecting significant freezing rain, as well as a very good amount of snowfall. And then we're also going to break down my official snowfall forecast and my official freezing rain forecast. All of those things are coming up in just a moment. Now, we're taking a look at that simulated radar according to, first off, our NAM 3KM model, and as you can see, we're pretty much where we were at when we were just taking a look at the normal radar, maybe a little bit earlier here, but we do see that snowfall going on for Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then that ice to the south. That's my biggest concern at this point. There's some serious power outages going on in Texas from what I've heard, so that is a very bad situation down there. Let's just take this towards about 7 p.m. there on Wednesday evening, which is still today from the time I'm making this video, and most of it makes its way south, actually, that energy. We see a lot of thunderstorms going on for the south of Louisiana and some of those other Gulf states, and then ice there for kind of some of the northern regions there for northern Louisiana, northern Mississippi, and then southern Arkansas. We see that freezing rain coming down, and then some actual moderate to heavy snowfall for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee. So we have kind of everything going on at this point. It's kind of like a weather sandwich down there, pretty much a little bit of everything. And then as we take this towards about, I would say probably 2 or 3 a.m. here on Thursday, February 18th, you can see that we make our way eastward, and we see a lot of that snowfall going on from Arkansas through Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and even in through Pennsylvania as well, with still some of that freezing rain in between the rain and the snow. That's been the theme with a lot of our recent winter storms, with the warm to the south due to that southeast ridge, and then the cold trying to battle its way in. That just creates that perfect recipe for freezing rain and snow events. And then to the south, we can see very heavy rainfall going on down there for the southeast, and that is going to make its way up into the Mid-Atlantic. I don't know about your location, but I know that my house has received about 5 inches of rain so far in February, so we don't need any more rain, but we are going to get it anyway, even though we didn't ask for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on and go a little bit further into this model run in just a moment. Now, this is by about 11 a.m. there on Thursday, February 18th. And as you can see, there is tons of freezing rain and ice coming down from North Carolina and Virginia. A lot of people have been sharing some snowfall maps within our Facebook group, Weather Freaks, which you're always welcome to join, by the way. That should be in the pinned comment and the description. We always have a lot of fun in there talking about weather. But a lot of people have been sharing some snowfall maps from tropicaltidbits.com and some websites that aren't excluding this ice. So people are seeing a lot of snowfall for Virginia and North Carolina and freaking out and getting excited that it's showing like 10 inches of snow or something like that. It's not counting the sleet or the freezing rain. It's considering that snow at this point, which is not good because, as we can see, as we take a look at a little bit more of an advanced website here from Weatherbell, we get a little bit more of an insight into what the precipitation types are here. We can see that that is ice, not snow. So there will not likely be any snowfall accumulating in the southern half of Virginia or anywhere in North Carolina for that matter. As we move towards about, I would say this is approximately about 10 p.m. there on Thursday. We see still a lot of that ice going on for Virginia, even up through Pennsylvania and New Jersey at this point. They started out as some snow, and they end out as some ice. We are going to take that into consideration. And then we can see by the time we're reaching maybe about 12 p.m. there on Friday, February 19th, this one is pretty much closing out for the most part. Now, let's take a look at what the RGEM does with it, and it has a lot more ice here. I'm concerned about this. So this is by about, I would say, maybe 5 p.m. this evening. Let's take that towards about maybe 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. And as you can see, that ice begins for Virginia and North Carolina in the same way. Notice no snowfall south of northern Virginia, really. We see that moderate snowfall going on for many regions, though. And then pretty much Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey, New York City seeing that snowfall. Beisheimer reaching perhaps about 2 or 3 p.m. here on Thursday with tons of ice to the south. And then we close this one out by approximately 7 a.m. there on Friday morning on that model. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the modeled snowfall totals, the modeled freezing rain totals, and then also our official snowfall forecast and our official freezing rain forecast. All of those things are coming up in just a moment. Now, all you need to know here is that anywhere in the grays, you're expecting a dusting, if anything, within those lighter blues, 2 to 6 inches of snow. And then we see a couple areas of purples, Oklahoma, Arkansas there, and then some for the mid-Atlantic and northeast. That's where we're at 6 to 10. And those pinks from West Virginia take that all the way up through Maryland, Pennsylvania, and in through New Jersey. That's where we're taking a look at about 10 inches plus. All right. Now let's take a look at that NAM 3KM model. That was our European model. This is our NAM 3KM model. This one's a little bit higher resolution, and it's calling for a lot more here. This model is known for overdoing things a little bit. It is calling for those 10-inch plus amounts for Arkansas and more regions in the Mid-Atlantic than what the European model was saying. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Here's our 12KM NAM model, which is a little bit of a lower resolution version of what we just took a look at, and it's not too far off from what that one was saying as well. Our RGEM model says, well, we're going to get plenty for those Gulf states and then up through Arkansas, but not a lot for the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Not a lot at all, maybe 6 to 10 for a few isolated regions. So there is still some uncertainty at this point. And then that freezing rain forecast, here's our European model. And as you can see, anywhere in the brighter pinks, that's where we're under a quarter inch of ice, which would be kind of minimal amounts. But as you move up into that second layer of pink, so those darker pinks, that's where you're over a quarter inch of ice, maybe even up to let's say an inch or so in some of those very dark pinks. So we're taking a look at a damaging ice storm at this point. Let's zoom in on our NAM 3KM model, our very high resolution model. And this one is calling for an inch plus of freezing rain there for portions of Texas and Louisiana, potentially even up through Arkansas. You can see those numbers on the screen, so that's going to help you out there. And then for the eastern United States, yeah, we're taking a look at about maybe half an inch or more of freezing rain up there as well for Virginia and portions of North Carolina as well. Potentially even West Virginia or Maryland or Delaware, potentially even as well. All right, now let's break down my official snowfall forecast. A dusting to 3 inches of snow within this white region is what I'm expecting. Within this lighter blue, notice this does not include southern Virginia or portions of North Carolina. This is where I expect 3 to 6 inches of snow. And then I expect 6 to 10 within these two darker blue regions. One there for mostly Arkansas and surrounding states, and then one there for West Virginia up through the mountainous regions of Virginia, up through Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then some of New York and some of New England as well there. And then I even have a 10 to 15 inch region there that extends from the mountains of West Virginia. That's a very frequent area that does see a lot of snowfall, up through into the mountainous regions of Maryland, and then in through south central Pennsylvania and northeastern Pennsylvania, even northwestern New Jersey included there, in through the Catskill Mountains there. That's where I expect the bullseye of 10 to 15 inches to occur. Our freezing rain forecast. Our first very, very bright pink area, that's where we're at, under 0.25 inches of ice. That is under a quarter inch of ice. In those moderate pink regions, that's where I expect a quarter to half an inch of ice. And then within those two darker pink regions, that's where I expect half an inch or more of freezing rain to be possible. So we're going to be watching for that. That could be very impactful. Please be safe. Please pay attention to your current conditions. Don't drive around. It's a bad idea. Anyway, for our confidence tab, I'm at about a 5 out of 6 now. We've upgraded. There is some uncertainty there on that northeast end of the storm, and I will probably need to update that tomorrow morning. But as far as the south central portion of this storm and some of the Gulf states, we're a lot more confident, and I'm at a 5 out of 6 at this point. For yesterday's comment of the day, I asked you guys, which state do you think will see the most impacts? And Jesse Tech 2021 said Texas is definitely going to be the most affected. Dallas has 4 to 8 inches of snow and is currently 0 degrees here. Anything on top of that is just more to worry about. And with that combined with that power outage issue that they're having down there in Texas, I can say without a doubt that I think Texas will see the most impacts from this winter storm. Anyway, for our patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons. Sebastian Tao, John Benbenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Balemo, Adam S., Larry LePan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Ada Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Michael Buell, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J., Luke Falago, Gary's, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of this patron end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I'll see you guys in the next video.